Today, we are ranking every single alt art and trainer gallery card from the Sword and Shield era. I am so excited to get into this list. This is going to be absolutely insane. We're ranking on investability, collectability, art. We're doing it all. And today, I mean, this is going to be absolutely crazy. Now, first, I want to go over the actual tiers we have. We have number one, GOAT, which is replacing the S tier. It means you have to have this in your collection. If you can, get multiple. If you can't, that's okay. Next up, buy. You definitely want a few in your collection if you can. Great pickups, not as good as GOAT, but still really good. Next up is absolute mid, and if you have any cards in this tier, that means basically you can sell, you can buy, you can trade, you can do whatever you want with the card. It doesn't really matter. To me, it's absolutely mid. Next up, sell and buy better cards. If you have any of these cards in your collection, you want to sell them and buy any of the cards in GOAT, buy, or absolute mid tier. And finally, the worst, trash. If you have any of these cards, man, I am sorry for you. But that is all the tiers. Let's get into the video. Now, number one, of course, we have Empoleon. We're starting with Battle Styles, and I actually really like the Empoleon a lot. I think it's a really, really cool card. I have to say there's so many cool Rapid Strike Pokemon in this, and it's a very cheap card. I think it's less than $100 for a PSA 10, so we're putting it in the buy category. Now, for the Urshifus, I don't feel like they're that great. I feel like they belong in either trash or sell and buy better cards. I'm putting them both in sell and buy better cards, along with the Urshifu VMAX, which I'm actually going to put in trash, which just this card looks so bad. You can't argue with me. This is not a great card. But next up, we have Sleepy T-Tar. As you can see, this card is beloved by many, but in my opinion, I feel like it's a good card, nothing too crazy. We're putting this in buy because I still think it's a great card, and it is slightly undervalued for what the price of Battle Styles is and what a great alt art this is. But I will not put in GOAT. That's because the things going in GOAT are reserved for absolutely insane Pokemon cards, okay? Next up, we have the Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX Alt Art, another great Pokemon card. I feel like this one has something missing in it, but also it's very underrated again. It's $200 in a PSA 10. I'm putting this in absolute mid because I feel like it's very okay, and there's nothing wrong with being okay. Next up, we're going into, I think it's Chilling Reign. Chilling Reign has a lot of unique and interesting Pokemon. I think it has the second or third most alt arts and trainer galleries of every single Pokemon set in the entire Sword and Shield era. So let's rank them right now. I'm going to try to go fast through these because I know you don't want a long video. I'm going to try to make sure my opinion is showed. Let's go and look at this Ice Rider Calyrex. I think it's really cool with all these like deerlings in the background. Really interesting artwork. We're gonna put this in, I think we're gonna put an absolute mid. I think it's a very okay card. This Tornadus right here, I think it's also very okay, nothing special. We're gonna put an absolute mid because I don't feel like it goes, I mean, it teeters on sell and buy better cards and absolute mid. I feel like we're gonna put this in absolute mid because it's okay. Now, Zeraora V, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated Pokemon in the entire Sword and Shield era. This artwork's beautiful, and in a PSA 10, this card's like $120. I've seen it on eBay. I've seen it at card shows. This card is absolutely stunning. I do believe it deserves the GOAT tier. I mean, just look at this card artwork compared to any of the rest. Like, look at it. It's standing on top of a mountain, touching what looks to be almost a hill. It is so gorgeous. I love this card a lot. Next up, we have, I think it is the Blissey V. This card's a trainer gallery card. I don't think it's that special. We're putting it in sell and buy better cards. I might be a Blissey hater. I'm sorry if I am. Next up, we have the Galarian Moltres. This card is absolutely beautiful, and because of that, we're gonna have to put that in the GOAT tier. I mean, what else could you want from a card? It is absolutely stunning, drawn by an amazing artist. We have what looks to be Moltres with these fiery wings. We have eyes in the forest in the background, and of course we have this massive moon taking up like 80% of the screen. An absolutely beautiful and underrated card. Next up, we're gonna move into the other birds. We have the Galarian Articuno, which reminds me a lot of that one Angry Bird, I think Star Wars, I think it's Chuck, the yellow bird. When in Angry Bird Space, it turns into this kind of bird that looks exactly the same. If you know the reference, you know it. I'm sorry if I'm getting off track, but in my opinion, this card is okay. It goes in absolute mid. And next up, we have Zapdos that looks like Roadrunner. Again, if you know Roadrunner, you know this is a direct copy, a direct kind of look up. I think it's really interesting. We're putting Galarian Zapdos in the, I feel like it teeters again between absolute mid and buy. We're gonna put an absolute mid because I feel like buy is reserved for some crazy artwork. Now, Galarian Slowking, it's a very interesting card. I feel like it has some great artwork, but because it's Slowking, I feel like it really just ticks the card down a lot. We're putting this in sell and buy better cards. The only reason I'm not putting this in trash is because the artwork makes up for it. Next up, Galarian Rapidash, sell and buy better cards. It's very boring. Blaziken VMAX, right now, I have to say I would put this in the buy tier because it is kind of inflated for the price. It's $1,000 in a PSA 10, and you actually might be thinking like that's not a bad price. I do feel like it's one of the goats of the Sword and Shield era. It's a really beautiful card. I mean, it is absolutely stunning if you look at it. It's training in Talion and its whole line. It's beautiful. The artwork is stunning. I really don't know what to put this in, if it's GOAT or buy. I'm going to put it in GOAT just so people don't like wreck me in the comment section. And I also do think it's really, really a cool card. So we're going to put Blaziken in the GOAT tier. Now, Shadow Rider Calyrex I think is also an interesting Pokemon. I feel like it just has some really lackluster art. As you can see, nothing's going on. It's not like the Ice Rider Calyrex, which has a story going on. It's pretty boring. Next up, we're into Fusion Strike. Let's get into this. I really like the Celebi from Fusion Strike a lot. I think this deserves the GOAT tier. Many people say this is their favorite art of the entire Sword and Shield era, which is really crazy. And you can tell it just really stands out from the others. Next up, we have Genesect. And again, I'm putting a lot of cards in the GOAT tier, but I swear, this is their amazing cards, okay? Don't roast me by putting everything in the GOAT section. He's putting everything in the GOAT section. What's happening here? I put Genesect in the GOAT section because I think it's extremely undervalued and extremely beautiful cards. Break dancing, an alt art. Break dancing is so cool. I love how there's Smeargles in the background. This card is such a vibe. I love it. Very underrated. $100 in a PSA 10. Definitely a pickup. Sandaconda. My Sandaconda don't get picked because it is a trash card. We don't like Sandaconda, okay? Because it is so boring. Who designed this? It's an anaconda next to a radiator. That's it. Like, I'm so sorry to the artist, but really, what happened there, okay? Greedent V, very interesting, but I'd put this in, again, the trash tier. Greedent is such a boring Pokemon. I'm sorry. It's not in the artwork. The artwork is very boring. It's kind of funny how the Greedents are little kind of carrying this other big Greedent. That's pretty interesting, but I can't fathom this card be any higher. Now, Mew V, on the other hand, I think is absolutely beautiful. I feel like the Pokemon in the background are a little bit weird. I don't know why they have Smeargle, Toxtricity, and these other range of Pokemon that aren't very popular. We're going to put it in buy because I think it's still a great card, but it's just not that great in my opinion. Inteleon, absolute mid. I feel like Inteleon, if it was a more popular Pokemon, it would be better, but I feel like the artwork is very interesting. It being a sniper, it makes a lot of sense, but we're putting it absolute mid. Mew VMAX with the London background, a great Pokemon card. We're putting this in buy, just like the Mew V. I think it's a great Pokemon card. And Espeon, I think Espeon VMAX, a great Pokemon card again, but I'm going to put this again in buy, and the Gengar is going in GOAT. I think Gengar is just one of those cards that is monumentally not underrated, because I think it's still a very expensive card and rightly rated. But I think it's one of those cards that'll sneak up on you. You know, there was the tag team Gengar and Mimikyu, and at one point that card was like, I don't know, like a $200, $300. It wasn't very expensive as an alt art, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's now a $6,000 to $7,000 PSA 10. It's double the Moonbreon. It's about half the price of the Latios. It's a crazy card. I think things like Gengars, things like Giratinas, Umbreons, these cards can surpass our wildest imaginations. We just have to be aware and keep our eyes open. Glaceon V, Fusion Strike. We are now on to Fusion Strike, the GOAT of the Sword and Shield era. No one's denying that Sword and Shield is just ruled by this set. And Glaceon, I think, is a great card. It's chilling on the bench. I feel like the Glaceon's a little lackluster. I mean, it's just really chilling on the bench there. We're going to put it in absolute mid. Hot take. Don't love it that much. The Espeon Playing with Books, a great card. And actually, I have to say the Espeon, Leafeon, and Sylveon, I feel have very interesting artworks that really represent themselves as Pokemon, which is why I'm going to bump them up a little bit higher. But first of all, I want to say Espeon goes in buy. And I think Leafeon and Sylveon, Leafeon goes in absolute mid, Sylveon goes in buy. I think it's just a preference of Pokemon popularity and how the artwork actually meshes with the Pokemon. And I just feel like Sylveon and Espeon are just better than Glaceon and Leafeon. That's my opinion. Next up, we have Golurk V. This Pokemon is absolutely beautiful. I think it's really stunning how they put a Pokemon that's not as loved and made the artwork just absolutely beautiful and allowed it to be a stunning Pokemon. I think based on the art and how underrated it is, we're putting it in the buy tier. This is definitely going to be one of those Pokemon that sneak up on you in the future. And Umbreon V. Now, I actually have a feeling that this Umbreon V right here will be one of those cards that actually do extraordinarily well. Like, if you take a look at, let's say, again, the Gengar Mimikyu from Tag Team era. That alt art is really expensive right now. It's like $7K. Let's compare that to the Umbreon. Let's pretend that that Tag Team Gengar Mimikyu is the Umbreon VMAX alt art. Now, the next step below is definitely like the Gengar VMAX full art. And that Gengar VMAX full art in a PSA 10 goes for $2,000. Now let's compare that to the next step or next level below Umbreon, which is Umbreon V Alt Art. And I feel like that's where this will land. It'll be an expensive card one day. Right now, this Umbreon V is probably around $700 to $1,000. I'm not sure where your conversion rates are, but it's not as expensive as it will be. And I do believe this will also rise a bunch in the future. We're putting it in the GOAT tier. Dragonite is the next Pokemon on the list. Absolutely beautiful. I feel like it's a little bit overhyped right now in my opinion. That might just be some of my opinion right here, but I think it's a great card. Definitely an insane card. But I think it's a little bit overhyped, and for that reason, I'm gonna put it in the buy category, no higher. Medicham V, I think it's a great Pokemon, very undervalued. We're gonna put this in the buy tier as well. We have Noivern looking like Batman. In my opinion, this is kind of a sell and buy better cards. This is an okay Pokemon. No one likes Noivern that much, and the realism and the art just doesn't really do it for me. And finally, we have the big hitters. Let's get the number one. Let's get the Duraludon VMAX out of the way, because let's be honest here, no one wants this card. We're gonna put this in trash. I'm really sorry, but it's so bad. It's a building VMAX. That's what it should have been called. So we're gonna have to sadly put that in the trash tier. And we're gonna now rank the big guys. These are the big guns. And I'll be honest here, it might just be a normie pick, but I'm putting all of these Pokemon, every single one of them, into the just GOAT tier. I mean, how could you not? Leafeon, goated. Glaceon, goated. Sylveon, goated. But I give in so easily. That's such a dumb song. Anyways, Umbreon, goated as well. And of course, we have the Rayquaza goated. These cards are iconic, and they will be so iconic in the few coming years. I mean, they're just so perfect. How could you not think that they're goated? And it might just be some normie picks from me, okay? I might be saying, wait, these cards are already so expensive, and they're gonna keep getting more expensive. Think about that. That's right, we are done Evolving Skies. Let's move on to Astral Radiance. The first card is, of course, the Beedrill V. I almost said that wrong. Beedrill V, of course, an amazing Pokemon card. You can see the artwork on this is absolutely phenomenal. The flowers look so cool. We're putting Beedrill V in the buy category. I think it's very underrated. Looking at, I think if it was a more popular Pokemon, literally like any other Pokemon, because of the hibernating Pokemon in the background, it looks so cool. But if it was any other Pokemon and not Lilligant, it would have been higher. Sadly, we're putting this in absolute mid because nobody likes Lilligant. Next up, we have the Palkia. This is an absolutely beautiful card. Reminds me a lot of the MC Escher painting that I think is called Relativity. Yeah, it's called Relativity. It is absolutely beautiful. The way the painting kind of looks, it is just so interesting. It's actually a sketch, but it's exactly like the Palkia. And if we go back to the Palkia, again, it looks exactly the same with the chessboards, different types of perspectives and angles. This card is absolutely beautiful, definitely underrated, and I think it is a GOAT tier card. I'm putting a lot of cards in the GOAT tier, but I think the Sword and Shield era is just so perfect in a way. I think it's one of the best eras we've had in a very long time. I think it is just absolutely blowing the Scarlet and Violet era out of the water, just completely. So I want to get that out there. Machamp, I think, also looks amazing the way it's in its natural habitat, just helping people, carrying all these different plates and things with its 4 arms. That's the reason for it. We're putting in GOAT. I'm putting so many things in the GOATed tier. I feel so bad because I kind of just look like a normie right now, but it's so true that these cards are so good. You can't argue with me that any of these cards are not goated. Maybe you can argue the Genesect and the Celebi and the Zero aren't goated, okay? But in my opinion, they're so undervalued that they are goated. Now, Sneasel, I feel like is very boring. We're putting this in trash. I feel like the artwork is very nice, but just it's nothing to me. Dialga, I think, is also very trash. I don't think it's that nice. Starmie V is a really cool card that I think is also a little bit underrated. I think it's one of those cards that'll be looked at in the future and definitely be kind of looked at, and people will say, oh, this card is beautiful. Why didn't people buy this more? We're putting Starmie V in buy, and we're also putting the Garchomp actually in the goated tier. I feel like the Garchomp looks so cool. Just the fact that it's such a dreamy, mesmerizing card. And you have Cynthia, one of the most popular trainer Pokemon, and it just has to go in the goated tier. Now, Ice Rider, and also I think it's Ice Rider, Calyrex, and V and VMAX. These cards are very boring. I know I was like excited right there. I'm sorry to excite you. These cards are massively boring. And I have to say, every single one of these cards, these Trainer Gallery cards from Astral Radiance, aside from the Starmie and the Garchomp, are either trash or sell and buy better cards. Like right here, let's look at it. Ice Rider, Calyrex, V, okay? We're putting that in trash. VMAX, we're bringing in sell and buy better cards. We're putting Articuno in sell and buy better cards. We're putting the normal one in actually sell and buy better cards. We're putting the normal one again of Shadow Rider in sell and buy better cards. Now the Zapdos we're putting in sell and buy better cards. We're putting the Moltres in trash. I'll be honest here. The Zacian in trash. Now we're putting the Zacian in sell better buy cards. But the reason I actually want to put the next card in trash is because you have Hop along with the least popular Pokemon of the Sword and Shield era, which is the Zamazenta. Who talks about Zamazenta? Nobody. That's right, because nobody cares about it. On to Brilliant Stars, a brilliant set. I have a feeling that this set will actually not do as well as people are thinking long term. I think it'll do really well, of course, but I just think it's kind of overhyped right now as a set. Many people say, oh my god, we have the Charizard, but really, who cares about this Charizard? Because if it would have been more popular, people would have picked it up. And you might be watching this video or listening and thinking, I like this Charizard. But if you do watch this Charizard, if you love this Charizard, why don't you have it in your collection? And if you do have it in your collection, then I just feel like the market isn't representing how you as a collector and investor feel about this card being so amazing. So that for that reason, I'm actually putting absolute mid. I don't like this card very much. Charizard has become one of those Pokemon that aren't as popular, so therefore we're putting it absolute mid. Luminion, we're putting in absolute mid with the Charizard. I know some people are like, this is blasphemous, you're putting Luminion with Charizard, but let's take a look at the artwork and be really honest here. Luminion looks better, okay? Luminion looks a lot better. Now, onto some of the trainer gallery cards. We're going to look at, of course, first of all, the Arceus V, which I think goes in absolute mid. I think it's a very okay card. And the Honchkrow, which is definitely going to go in sell and buy better cards. This is definitely not a very crazy nice Pokemon. And finally, we're going to go on to the last cards of, Brilliant Stars, the trainer galleries, and we're going to go through them really quickly because I know we are getting pretty kind of close on time. We have the Bolton V going in trash. We have the Sylveon V going in sell and buy better cards. We have Sylveon VMAX going in absolute mid because I don't think it has that really standout presence. We have the Mimikyu V going in absolute mid and the Mimikyu VMAX going in sell and buy better cards. Now we have the Urshifu V going in trash and the Urshifu VMAX also going trash. All these are trash, let's be honest here, except for the sole exception of this guy, the Urshifu VMAX, which I think goes in absolute mid. And then of course we have the two, I think they're called, who is this trainer? There's a trainer in mind. This is a really interesting trainer. I don't know her name, but it's Umbreon V and VMAX with this trainer, and they look really sick, I have to say. I think it's Karen. It's Karen's Umbreon V and VMAX going in absolute mid, respectively. And finally, we have Calyrex V and VMAX in their trainer gallery forms. Actually, these were cards from Chilling Reign. I don't know why they didn't go there. I'm so sorry, guys. The whole tier list got mixed up all of a sudden. I'm really upset about that. But we're just pretend that we're putting it with the other guys in Chilling Reign. And in my opinion, these are both going in absolute mid because they're absolutely mid cards. And I do have to say, I kind of want to put the Ice Rider Calyrex and sell and buy better cards because I think it has a worse artwork than the Calyrex VMAX. If you take a look at that, you can decide for yourself, but that is my opinion. There are actually two more cards that I missed from the Evolving Skies set list. We have the Rayquaza V and the Duraludon V. I mean, these cards are, again, very beautiful. I think the Rayquaza V definitely deserves that GOAT tier. It's a great Pokemon card. How could you not put it any higher? And Duraludon goes in trash because who thought that putting Raihan and Duraludon in the Pokédex would be a really cool card? Nobody, because nobody likes that card. I'm sorry. Now, Lost Origin is the next set. I absolutely love this set. And I think that, honestly, it is one of the strongest because of one card in particular. Of course, we know that card is, we're just going to get that in a second. We have only 3 SIRs in the set. Only 3, which is really crazy. And those are the Rotom V, Aerodactyl V, and Giratina V. And I think they all deserve their own category. Absolute mid for Rotom, a buy for Aerodactyl, and of course, goated status for Giratina. I mean, Giratina, I'm trying to actually in the process of picking up one in PSA 10, as well as a bunch of boxes of Lost Origin, because I think it's just such an amazing set. And I don't think it has anywhere to go but up. I think it's going to keep rising, and it's going to keep soaring. Now we have some training gallery cards like the Orbital V VMAX. We also have the Centiskorch V VMAX, and also, I have to say, these are very mid Pokemon. In my opinion, they're going in trash and sell by better cards. So trash for the Centiskorch because nobody really likes Centiskorch, and absolute mid. Actually, no, in sell and buy better cards for the Orbitals. Now, Pikachu, in my opinion, goes into the absolute mid tier. I feel like it's very bad artwork of Pikachu, and I'm sorry if you really like this card, but in my opinion, it just doesn't cut it. And Enamorus also going in trash. The Gallade going in sell and buy better cards. The Crobat going in sell by better cards, and both the Eternatus going in trash. I think they're just such weak Pokemon that they could have done so much with. And now we are on to a set that is also very underloved. We have Pokemon Go again with only 2 SIRs. That's it. The Mewtwo and the Conkeldurr. I think Mewtwo is definitely a buy. Definitely a really cool card. And Conkeldurr is trash. Definitely a really not cool card. Just like that, we are finally into the Silver Tempest set. Now, I feel like Silver Tempest is an absolutely insane set. It's a beautiful set with a lot of great Pokemon cards in it, and it also doesn't have that many SIRs. It has a lot of trainer gallery cards, but today we're gonna just go through, we're gonna make sure that we get it right, okay? Because people have this wrong. People are saying we're gonna put Lugia in GOAT and Regidrago in trash. No. You've got it all wrong, okay? It's Regidrago, of course, in the GOAT tier, and Lugia going in trash. Because let's be honest here, only the truth and the true people know what is going on here. Now, I'm kind of joking. I do believe Regidrago is actually goated, but I'm gonna put this Lugia also in the goated tier. I think again it's gonna keep going up. Now, again, a very normie pick, but the Regidrago right here. Imagine having a Lugia in the background. Regidrago sitting calmly. A Pokemon that is so undervalued. $100 for the PSA 10. It is an absolute pickup, an absolute steal. I have 5 Regidrago V PSA 10, CGC 10s, raw cards in my collection. I love this so completely. I have 4 PSA 10s. Why do I have 4 PSA 10s? Because I believe in this Pokemon. Unknown V, for an unknown reason, I don't actually like this Pokemon. We're putting it in absolute mid. I feel like it's, again, very boring, very basic, nothing too exceptional, so we're putting it there. With Skuntank, which I actually think is a really interesting artwork, it going kind of through different levels, it's just very interesting with the angles being turned. A very interesting Pokemon, but because it's Skuntank, I don't think it'll get any love. Kricketune, sell and buy better cards. Blaziken, absolute mid. Blaziken again, VMAX, absolute mid. We have the Superior, I'm sorry, we're gonna put you in absolute mid as well. Zeraora, absolute mid. We have Mawile, sell and buy better cards. Corviknight, sell and buy better cards. Corviknight VMAX, sell and buy better cards. Rayquaza going in the buy tier because it's absolutely amazing. Duraludon going in absolute mid because I think it's not as actually bad as this card. For some reason, I like this Duraludon a lot better. It looks a lot cooler, so that's my little opinion. And finally, we have Blissey V going and sell and buy better cards. And just like that, we're into Crown Zenith. I know I kind of skipped through that because they're just some boring cards. Crown Zenith, the crowning achievement of the entire Sword and Shield. I think, in my opinion, it is second or third best. I think it's so amazing as a set. It has so many amazing trainer galleries and alt art Pokemon. I think you can't leave it in the dust. It is just so amazing. Let's start with, of course, Entei. Now, Entei, in my opinion, is a great Pokemon. We're putting it in absolute mid, along with the Suicune, which goes in buy, and also the Raikou, which goes in buy as well. Now, I feel like the Suicune could also go in the GOAT tier, but there's something about it that kind of holds it back. It's high pop report, really easy to pull, and I feel like it just doesn't really have the same oomph as all the GOAT cards, except for Regidrago, which is just, I know, a level above all these. Let's be honest here, let's put it to the top, because Regidrago, it knows it's the top, it's the cream of the crop, it's the very best, so we're just gonna put that there. Now, back again to Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith, sorry, the Regidrago mindset, it's part of you. It's something, it's very interesting. Now, Simisear V-Star, a great card. Very funny. I like this card a lot. We're putting in buy because I think it's just such a very unique artwork. Kind of reminds me of the Eevee with the bad breath. That card is really expensive now. I don't know why. It's because of low pop report, actually. But it's a really cool card. Now, Leafeon going in buy. And of course, Glaceon going in buy as well. These are Evolutions V-Stars. Really cool. Now, it's funny that we don't have any, like, Jolteon or Vaporeon, or I think it's Flareon V-Star Pokemon. We have the VMAXs, but those are the only Pokemon that didn't get V-Stars. Very interesting to me why they didn't do that. As well as also Espeon. She also didn't get a V-Star as well. Very interesting. Now on to Zorua and Zoroark. Zoroark, this is one of the most amazing artworks. In my opinion, this definitely goes in the buy tier. A great Pokemon art. I think when we have artwork like this amazing Zoroark, I think that when you have an artwork like this, where it almost blends into the card, but you can almost not even see the Pokemon, it's like almost Dahlia's clocks melting, absolutely beautiful, definitely deserves that buy tier. Luminion, great card, absolute mid. Zeraora, we're gonna put this one in absolute mid, but the V-Star is going in buy. We have the Mewtwo, of course, going in buy. We have we have so many things. Deoxys going in buy. We have Deoxys V-Star going in absolute mid. We have Hatterene going in trash. I'm sorry, you thought that Hatterene get the exception. No, it does not. Okay, Zacian, we're putting in absolute mid. And we have the, again, amazing card. I think this is just such an interesting artwork. Putting it in the real sand, the claymation done is so interesting. We're putting Drapion in absolute mid. We're putting Darkrai in buy. This is definitely a buy for sure. Samurott, we're putting absolute mid. The Samurott V-Star, we're putting this in absolute. Actually, we're putting this in buy, a great card. We have Hoopa, which is definitely a buy. We have the Zacian, which is absolutely mid. We have the, I think it's Regigigas, pulling an entire mountain forming the continents, going in buy. And now we are actually onto the promo cards, the final cards we have to review. And first off, we actually have, of course, the promo evolutions. In my opinion, these all have very interesting rankings because I feel like the Flareon is kind of boring, along with the Vaporeon, which again is boring, and the Jolteon, which I think is absolute mid. Now, it's funny because I think that the Jolteon VMAX goes in the buy. The Vaporeon also goes in the absolute mid, and I feel like the Flareon, just so boring, goes in absolute mid as well with the Vaporeon. I think there's something about the Jolteon that just really stands out above the rest. The way these artwork looks is so much better than the way the Vaporeon and the Flareon look, and that's why I'm putting them in different tiers. RC is coming from the box collection, in my opinion, goes again in the sell and buy better cards tier. Or honestly, if you have a PS10 in this card, this is definitely a buy because it is so underrated, so undervalued, and I don't think it was graded that much. So you know what? If you are looking to grade this card or have this card and you're holding on to the future, this is definitely a buy. Charizard Vs, these Charizards I really dislike. I'm sorry if you like these, but there's something about these Charizards that I really dislike. Everything but the Charizard V-Star, I really dislike. So we're putting these in trash and trash. No, we're putting actually this one in sell and buy better cards. But this one, you can't tell me this is trash. I mean, this looks like some CGI garbage that's been renditioned poorly, okay? You cannot tell me this is a nice card. The Charizard V-Star, we are putting this one in, I think we have to put this in absolute mid. I think it's really interesting connecting with the Mewtwo, but it has such a high pop support and is so readily available, and we're putting Lucario in buy. And with that, we are done the entire list. As you can see, we have everything in the GOAT tier. Of course, Regidrago, the very GOAT, all the way down to Zeraora Moltres. What an amazing list this was. If you really trust this list, if you're an investor or a collector, and you're buying these cards in the, GOAT tier, you're gonna be making your bank, you're gonna be making your profit, but you have to remember to hold and keep for a long time. You're a collector, you're an investor, you know what to do. I believe in you. Tell me how this tier list was. If you agree with all my picks in trash, if you agree with my picks in GOAT, if you think that I should never make a tier list again, or if I should just keep making tier lists because I am the GOAT of making tier lists, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on everything I've ranked, and I just hope you have an amazing day and an amazing week. Peace!